Another update of the build. Ended up cutting out, past the junk here. I ended up cutting these off. They were alright at low RPMs and low amps, but when I stepped it up, they would start bending and everything else. So what I did is I used these. I've had these floating around for a while. These are rear. Well, I can't remember. Yeah, it was the rear of the bike. This part here, the rear suspension. So from another bike. So I used those. It's really solid now. I upped the amps. I also raised the motor because the chain was hitting the frame here. So it goes pretty good now. You know, from a dead stop, it'll get you up to speed. But one problem I've noticed with the motor, I know it's not the hub or the stator itself, excuse me, because the stator is pretty much new, but the actual casing in the motor, the magnet ring, is not. And I don't know if you can see it, but you can hear it. It sort of knocks. It feels like it's hitting something, but it's not. I think what's happening is one of the magnets has a crack in it, one or two of them anyway, and it's double poling. Basically, if it's 36 poles and you got a cracked magnet, it doubles. Basically, it adds a few more poles to the ring, and it's not good, because what it does is it generates, as it's running, it generates EMF back to the controller, which will blow your controller. So I've started, you see there, I started building another one, and I'm going to swap this one out, because you can see it ratchets, and even without a controller it does that. And this is actually the same thing it did with the stator that I thought was damaged. So I'm thinking maybe it's the ring, it's not the stator, which is not a bad thing, because that means I can use the stator for something else. But it's no good. It's rubbing like crazy. That's not rubbing, it's cogging. But it does run. But I don't want to destroy a controller doing it, so I'm going to swap it out. And we'll try this one over here. This has got a brand new magnet ring in it. It's already been cut. It's cleaner. And cut and grinded. So we'll try that one out. And then I'll have to make another video with this running at a full 49 volts. It runs pretty good. Much faster than my other one. Well, that's a little bit of a bonus. No more ratcheting. So it's definitely the ring. It's nice and smooth now. It's a cleaner one, that's for sure. Also, a bit of a bonus was, which normally doesn't work, the cluster that was on the rear of this wheel, which I needed a smaller one, only because of the gear ratio was a little bit too big, and from a dead stop it would take a while for the motor to get up to speed, which is not so good if you're stuck at a light. So this one works. The only problem is it's the wrong, it ratchets the wrong way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trick a metal bit and drill a hole here and here right through the bearings, and then I'm going to drop two pins in it to make it solid so it doesn't ratchet, and that should take care of that. But usually these don't work on this type of chain. They only work on the BMX chain, and as you can see, the teeth are all lining up, so that's a bit of a bonus. I'll definitely stay like that. I'm going to have to put something here to, or tighten the chain up. No, I'm going to have to add a gear here to take up some of the slack, or to lift it off the frame. There's no way around it. I can't put it any higher. It's the distance between the front tire and the frame is best it's going to get. But this should prove to be an interesting test once I drill those holes. And time for road test. Well, I guess that's one way of doing it. I sort of, once I was just about through it, I broke the bit off in it, and it works. I don't know how long it'll hold. I'm gonna probably breaking a few of them off in there, but as long as it holds for the test, should be all right. This is going to be so smooth. This is basically what you want. You want the motor to have more revolutions than the back wheel. As you can see, I'm getting at least 2 or 3 revolutions per spin on the wheel. So that leaves it open for me to do some shifting. I don't know if I can do it without the chain falling off, but I'll try it anyway. This is exactly what I was looking for. It's going to be so smooth. It's not falling off. It's really good. Perfect. Well, I got the, I drilled a hole through it. It's solid now. It's got like chunks of metal in there. It's not going anywhere. One small problem though. Once the motor spins and you put a lot of torque on it, it just spins off. Obviously it's the opposite thread. It's going to spin off, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to clean all the oil. We're going to clean it right up. And with brake fluid. And then what we're going to try is cold weld. Put that on the threads and nothing's going to take it off. So that should do it. And then if it doesn't, I'm going to have to pick up one with the opposite thread, but if I can get away without doing it, I will. This stuff is just like epoxy, basically. It smells the same anyway. You just basically take 50-50, mix it together, and then you got like 15 minutes of that to get it on the part, and then it fully cures in 16 hours, so it'll be overnight. I won't be able to test it today, but we'll see if it holds.